Welcome back, everybody. We are resuming day 49. We just finished our level 4 battle with good old Labyrinthauros. Did not go very well. I probably shouldn't have started off the fight by saying, level 4 isn't a big increase from level 3. We ended up coming out on top of that one, but it was kind of a tough fight because every time we thought we had the right Titan picked for who was going to be targeted by the next AI, I think we were wrong every single time, or close to every time. So we lost a couple of Titans. So I do have some cleanup to go over from that last fight. So let's go ahead and jump over to that now. So first off, let's see, we got our resources from the fight, so that is good. We did not lose our Argo Fate, so we do have to lose 2 Argo Fate. Love that. Down to 2 out of 9. Then we will lose our 2 Titans. So let's see, we lost our Solon here, who was using the Dreamwalker 2. So that was Polyphemus. So we have to mark Polyphemus as dead, unfortunately, as well as Ulyssia, who had Spartan Dreamwalker on, and that's the one I really regret losing that one. Epidemos, yeah, that one's tough, and that was a tough fight overall because now we are at 6 out of 10 Titans. That makes me a little anxious because I think we're about to be going into a Temenos fight soon, so there'll also be, I'm not sure how I'm going to do these videos. I don't know if I'm going to end up just making this a really short video and then splitting off into another video for the Temenos fight, or if we'll combine them, but we'll see. I do kind of like this idea of keeping the battle videos separate from the adventure videos. We'll figure that out if we have that fight come up. And then the last thing is that I had put this condition token here on Anacreon, and I was like, I'm sure I'm going to remember, I'm sure I'm going to forget like why I put this thing on here in the first place. And sure enough, I did. I was sitting here this morning thinking like, why the heck is there a token on him? It's because he also needs to roll on the fated, what was it called? The Fate Worse Than Death table. He had died from the obol that forced him to roll on that table. So we had to not only roll on that for Fisher, who drew the grave trauma that caused that, and she ended up getting a Fated Nemos from that Fate Worse Than Death special event. Now we have to do it for Anacreon as well. So let's bring up our view that has, oh, that is the wrong button. There we go. See, we got a 3 there, which says permanently lose 1 gear from your Titan's loadout. Okay, that shouldn't be too bad. I think we'll probably end up just doing the spring harness because I think this is cheap to craft for us at this point. Spring harness is a pretty early on gear, but maybe we don't even want to craft that. Maybe this is an opportunity to get something better because I think we need to start changing out our Titan's loadout. So let's go ahead and remove a spring harness from our cargo here. Gear, where is spring harness? This is from the basic support equipment technology. Spring harness subtracted. Okay, not too bad. All right, I'll just go ahead and stick that. No, apologies, my things are all disorganized over here this morning. Sure, we'll put that there. Okay. So we are on day 49. And let's see, we did our combat encounter. We still have the research to do. And then we also have a couple, we're going to have story card advancement. We're going to have Doom card event. we're going to have a bunch of stuff that's going to be coming up for reading right now. So let me go ahead and take a sip of water as we prepare for that. All right, ready to roll. So let's go pull back up our scribe over here. So yeah, we just did our encounter phase where we did our timeline battle. Next we have the, sorry, not phase, but step. Next we have the advancement step, where we will do our combat research. And I already know which one we're going to get with this. We're going to get the smelted gear. And we may end up just crafting some things from this immediately. Let's go to technology and then projects. And then we will add plus on this smelted gear. Let me go ahead and get the physical card for that. Or actually more so what I care about is getting the gear cards that are associated with that. All right, so walk around my table to go get those. Give a little view of them via our booster seat here. And if we go to our technology, or now we want to go to cargo, we want to find our smelted gear page. So we got the smelted aspis, the smelted breastplate, and the smelted xiphos. So let's do the smelted aspis first. So this is a one-handed shield. Excuse me, a one-handed shield that has a block 1. It has a reflex, which is nice. And it has a full evade effect. You may immediately resolve knockback 2 against the primordial. That could be useful in some cases. Yeah, some areas where that could be useful is, I don't know, let's say we haven't done a Hecaton fight on camera here, but if you were fighting the Hecaton, I think a lot of his AI after attack effects have things like knockback or knockdown, or even like I think we have some knockdown on Labyrinthauros or Pursuer. So in this case, like you could, as long as the primordial doesn't have lumbering on them, you could get a knockback 2 against them, which would put them out of range of them being able to do a knockback or knockdown against you in that after attack effect. So we can actually just compare that to our Temenos scale shield here. Let's go ahead and bring the exposure down on this. It's a little hard to read that. Okay, yeah, just depending on the time of day that I record these, sometimes I have to have like different exposure values here. Yeah, okay, that's a little bit better, I think. So yeah, here's the comparison. So the smelted aspis is slightly better at attacking if you want to use it to attack the primordial, but you don't often want to use your shield for attacking them. The Temenos scale shield has the advantage of having the 2 extra evasion dice. So then the smelted aspis, I think, might actually be the first shield that we can craft in cycle 1 that has block, or at least just has a block that exhausts rather than discards. So that is nice. Like this Temenos scale shield is, you can tell from the red border on it as opposed to like having, so if you look at the bottom here, you have the red as opposed to this brown. The brown is cycle 1 gear, the red is cycle 2, but so there's different things in cycle 1 that could give you a Temenos scale shield, one of them being, I think, a crit on Temenos. The other one being, I think you can get it from a special tile as like a treasure thing that we've seen from like the giant shell in the last battle. And I think that's how I got the Temenos scale shield. So yeah, I think the smelted aspis is good. The reflex is nice, but like I'm trying to remember, like when I've used that reflex in the past, I feel like I end up regretting it because I am thinking like, oh, okay, well, like I'll reflex away, but then I end up wanting to use, because then it's exhausted, and then I want to use it for the block, but it's already exhausted. I don't know, so maybe it's a play style thing, but I think the smelted aspis is good. I don't know if I really want to replace the Temenos scale shield with it. or we'll see if maybe we want to craft it and give it to another Titan depending on some other loadout. So I'm not going to immediately craft a Smelted Aspis. That was a lot of time talking about that one. Let me move this stuff out of the way because we don't need this here anymore. And then next, let's go to the Smelted Breastplate, which I am excited to craft something of, I think. There we have Smelted Breastplate. It has 2 armor dice. It has Tumble. It has Reinforce 1, and it has a second chance on it. So finally, we have some gear other than our Temenos Scale Shield that just, like even the Temenos Scale Shield, you have to transform it before you can actually use the second chance effect on it. So this is incredibly nice to have. We will probably, I'm thinking we might want to craft both of these. Maybe we end up replacing the Trireme Breastplate that Phylacteria has. Maybe we replace, like, since we're not going to be fighting Labyrinthauros much, we might fight them like maybe one more time in this cycle towards the end of it, but we're going to be getting a lot of Hecaton fights for our timeline battles. So we'll probably end up switching the Glimmer Shroud out for something else, and the Smelted Breastplate is prime for taking that. So we may end up wanting to craft 2 of these. Let's see what the, oh, of course I can't even craft one of them now. What are we missing? Oh, Muscle Cluster. Okay. All right, so we'll have to get into a Hecaton fight before we can even craft one of these. That is lame. Darn. Well, maybe that's a good chance if we end up getting maybe we will end up wanting to do a trade with one of our technologies to get us muscle clusters, but we'll see. We might have to trade. That could be an expensive trade. And then lastly, we have the Smelted Xiphos, which is 1 attack die plus 1 precision, and it gives you 3 red dice. And then it has a power reroll 1, and if you have 6 or more danger, it has power reroll 2. So that is a really good sword. Again, so I think the most notable thing about it is that this is a single-handed sword. So you could now end up maybe switching out like the long mast spear, for instance. Like we could switch that out and have somebody have the Smelted Xiphos and a shield. You know, that would be an opportunity to say, okay, maybe someone has the Smelted Xiphos and the long mast spear, or I'm sorry, and the Smelted Aspis, for instance. I mean, given how much, especially Ulyssia has just gotten killed in every fight, almost every fight we've recorded so far. Primordials love her. So I'll need to think about this one. If we want to craft a Smelted Xiphos, yeah, it's tough because I don't know. I'm not sure how I want to do the weapons right now. Like I'm not going to take Pyramidion out of my loadout because I want to keep that in fight so I can keep getting it to the point where it's evolved. I think we have 3 more fights that we'll have to do with it. Yeah, we're at 6 tally marks out of 9. So once we evolve it into the, what is the final weapon called? Pyrosclipios? Yeah. Once we evolve into the Pyrosclipios, that'll be an awesome weapon. So we just want to rush that as quickly as we can because we'll probably want to use that when we're actually trying to fight the Pursuer in his lair and we're actually trying to kill him. Then we have, like, we could replace the Jawbone Axe. Like that could be a tempting thing to do. As nice as it is having the Deadly for the Jawbone Axe, like I think I just haven't had much luck rolling with the Jawbone Axe. I feel like recently, you know, no bonus precision, doesn't leave any tokens, doesn't have any power reroll. Like I wish the Smelted Xiphos left a token, like if it left an opening or a break, like that would just be, even that one little change would be enough for me to be like, yes, I really want this. But what I've really struggled with, I think in the last fight especially, was early on, you know, I had Solon and Ulyssia in the fight, who ended up getting to high rage early from various things. Like one was a major trauma card, I think it was. And then Solon, like they each started out with some rage too, but they got killed so early, and they were my only Titans who were really leaving a lot of tokens. Also, I need to take these off. They were my only Titans who were leaving a lot of tokens, and not having them leaving tokens really made it hard for Phylacteria and Herodotus to actually land their attacks or have their, really the power rolls were the thing that I struggled with. So again, that's where like something like a power reroll and a Smelted Xiphos could be really nice to have. But yeah, I think the only one that I really want to craft immediately that I can't is the Smelted Breastplate. So maybe we won't craft anything immediately. If we go into a Temenos fight, I might end up regretting not having done that. I have not been doing a lot of crafting. I think part of it is because like from recording the videos, I just feel like I need to kind of like keep on moving and pushing along. I might change how I'm recording some of these videos in that like I've often tried to do like record the whole thing at once and avoid doing any kind of editing in the middle of it if I can. But I don't think it's a sustainable thing because some of these videos are going for hours and hours. And sometimes I just can't play for that long. So we might have some videos where I just, I don't know, maybe I keep my videos shorter, but even for the battle ones, like maybe I'll just like pause the battle in the middle of the fight and then come back and finish it another time, but keep it all as one video. I don't know, we'll see. Just thinking out loud right now. But I am excited because now we are only 2 combat researches away from being able to craft the Mazimer, which is another thing that I may end up bringing back into my lineup. We'll see. Okay. We are 17 minutes into this and we need to keep moving. All right. So let's see. We did our advancement step. I don't think there's any other technologies we want to use right now. Let me take a look at that. Structural stuff. No. Let's see. What is the thing that we're most concerned about right now? Probably Titans. Because we're getting down, we're at 6 right now. I don't really want to get below 4. Just because going into a fight with less than 4 Titans would stink. Okay. Oh, and then what was our trading thing? Actually, let me look at the physical card for that one. Okay, yeah, the trading card, the trading technology we have right now, we'd have to be on a city space to do negotiation. So we don't have the ability to do that, even if we wanted to. Okay, no worries. So now let's go from the advancement step to the story step. Okay, where are we at? We need to check our story card here. Story card 3A, correct? Yes. When you find, oh, okay, yeah, we just need to draw the next card here. And it is, go back to this view. We have our Transform Temple. The map tile you are currently on designates the latitude coordinate of the Acropolis Sepulcher. Note this tile's number in the map section of the Argo sheet. So that would be latitude. What are we on? 41. 41. Okay, and then our story card itself says, when you find the full set of coordinates of the Sepulcher Acropolis, turn this card to 3B. So the coordinates, 4160, 6041. Is it? Oh, is it just? I forget, is it just talking about the actual, so our longitude, so longitude shows the vertical line. So is it saying that our longitude is here on this column, our latitude is horizontal, and so we need to go to this tile? Forgot to unpause there, and I also realized I was showing the wrong camera angle, but what it is saying is that it wants us to go, because we found this is our longitude, this is our latitude, so the intersection of those 2 points, I think it's saying it wants us to go up here, and that's super lame, because if we do that, then we are going to be exploring a bunch of tiles we've already explored. So we'd have to go, let's see, how many days would that take? That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then presumably we'd want to get back out of there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So within the next 9 days, we'd only end up exploring 2 new tiles. That's lame and boring, and I don't want to do that, because when you explore new tiles, that's how you find the adventure hubs. Like, that's how you uncover parts of the story. So totally cheating here, and I'm totally okay with doing this. If we're going to cheat, we're going to do it on camera. But I am reversing the order of these to say we found them in the opposite order, to say that this is our latitude, this is our longitude. That's going to put our tile here. This is where the Sepulcher Acropolis is that we have to find. I don't care that it ends up being closer. I don't care about it being close. I just care about it being in tiles that we haven't explored yet. And actually, who knows? It may not end up truly being closer, depending on how we have to get in here. That could be interesting. Ooh, this could end up being worse for us if we're in a point to like, are we going to be able to get into this spot? Are we going to have to go through and loop into it? I don't know. So I don't know, maybe this will end up extending our cycle 1 a bit. Maybe we'll end up getting to a point where we're concerned about losing days on the timeline. Hey, but that's going to make it more exciting. This playthrough is actually, also I feel less bad about doing this swap because this is my second playthrough of the game, and so I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with, like, I played it once through legitimately, or as close to the rules as I could the first time around. At least as close to the rules like that I thought the rules were. So I think we're okay there. But this playthrough is kind of exciting to me because it's different than my first playthrough, right? Like, I'm having a lot of like ups and downs in the battles here, which is similar to the first playthrough, but we were able to get the Pyramidion early. We are maybe going to be able to kill the Pursuer, but I also think I'm advancing Doom more quickly in this playthrough than I had in my last one. So I don't know, I'm excited to see the differences here, and I want to keep unveiling new content and new story. And even though like some of it's not all new to me, some of it contains information that I didn't realize was important at the time, and now that I have the information from like later in the game, I'm enjoying getting some of that info again and viewing it from a new perspective. So yeah, we're gonna make this more enjoyable for myself and hopefully for ourselves, because hopefully anybody who's watching this will enjoy getting more content out of it too. And so we're gonna change the location of the Sepulcher Acropolis. Hey, if Daedalus, never mind. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Anyway, I didn't actually read this story card, so let's go ahead and read that. Story 3B, A Phantom Thread. You've traveled Crete far and wide, uncovering cryptic clues left by the great inventor Daedalus. Many a time you've asked yourselves, why hide in Acropolis? Why leave clues leading to it? For whom? Maybe Minos will be able to provide some answers. once you find him, if he's alive. As you put together the fragmented information from the many Minotaur temples visited, you pinpoint the location of the Sepulcher Acropolis. You set your course. And that bull marker there is our Sepulcher Acropolis marker. Rules. We must reach the Sepulcher Acropolis. We place the Sepulcher Acropolis map tile, blah, 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 basically just using that marker to show the coordinates of it, where we have to go. Then, if we are on that tile during the story step, we will see paragraph 0075. We are not there yet. Who knows how long it's going to take us to get there. Maybe it's, at a minimum, we could get there in 1, 2, 3 days if I went straight down, but I'll probably, let's see, will I cut back to that explore tile? I'm not sure. I may go west then south and see, because then that just optimizes how many tiles I get to explore, but maybe we're okay with going back over one explored tile. We'll figure that out when we get to it, but we are not there yet because we have to do the Doom phase, and I think that may end up leading us to a fight with Temenos? Question mark? We will see. But we are on, let me pull up my scribe app over here. It's visible to you. It's hidden for me. There it is. Oh yeah, let's just go ahead and do our little edit here. Latitude. Longitude. Yeah, there we go. That's more like it. Yeah, we are on story card 2, or Doom card 2B. We do need to change this to story card 3B. We have no progress tokens that we're going to be putting on there. And, and actually before I do, I do have other things I need to read for the story. We need to read Nemos M10, which, who did this belong to? I forget. Let me find that paragraph in here. M10 is for Nemos, A Night to Remember, which is, Fisher's other, what's it called? Nemos card. So I think this might be the first, is this the first Nemos breakthrough that we're reading on camera? It might be. We haven't really gotten a lot of Nemos nodes since we've been recording. A35. Yeah, this might have been before I was actually recording. Okay. Yeah, so let me do a quick explanation first. These Nemos excerpts are basically like, as you gain those Nemos nodes from adventures, you unlock stronger abilities for your Nemoses, and with those stronger abilities comes like story about the memory. So here we have, this is for, well, let's give her a little bit of a more thematic thing there. This is for Fisher, A Night to Remember. The dream is more vivid now. You're young, on the verge of adulthood, and the night is warm and full of stars. The city is ablaze with 1,000 torches and braziers. It shines and shimmers like a jeweled necklace. The sounds of celebration reach you even here atop the roof of the old academy. This is the happiest moment of your life. Your polis, the great city of philosophy and reason, Athens, has won a war with its bitter rival, the brutish Sparta. You imagine the daring noble deeds performed in the name of your birthplace. Heroes must have been baptized in the glory of battle, and now, victorious, they return to their home city to celebrate and be celebrated. Oh, how you long to be one of them, to write your name in the annals of history, remembered for all time. Soon, you tell yourself. The sound of the celebration reaches a fever pitch, and the fires seem to grow even higher. Now the sky looks like a pale reflection cast in the sea of night. This is the happiest moment of your life, but not because of the Athens victory. You glance to your left, where Alethea sits. Even looking in her direction makes your heart beat twice as fast and your stomach ties itself into a knot. You like her. You always liked her, even before you knew what liking someone was. Maybe you still don't. You want to be close to her. Closer. Is that love? Is this that love your uncle was always talking about when he was pining over his latest conquest? No, that was something brief, faint, invisible. This is as real as anything. You work up the courage and, leaving everything to your heart and the fates, lean in for a kiss. You've never kissed anyone before, but this feels right. She looks deep into your eyes. There is sadness there. She edges away, and you immediately freeze. You've misread everything. You hastily back away, ashamed of displaying your unrequited emotions. You try to play it down, but you feel like a fool, rejected. This is the saddest moment of your life. You look to the starry sky and start counting. Man, some of these nemoses are just, they're just so well written. I don't know, like I've had especially when I remember going through the first cycle and just like having so many emotions going through reading the story and reading through the nemesis, and like it's still kind of hitting me. It's really good. The instruction bit here is gain 1 rage and 1 despair token. And then it says to note the next breakthrough on your Nemos track, but really this is just like on the next time we get a thing here. Yeah, okay. So we're learning a little bit more about Fisher and a memory that she has. Now, the next thing that we will do in our story step before moving on to Doom is reading Inwards Odyssey number 20. This is the final Inwards Odyssey of the cycle. So now at this point, if we get progress tokens, they don't go towards anything. They're kind of wasted. At least as far as I know, unless there's some other mechanic that I missed that like progress tokens can go towards. So this might encourage us to want to go for that Sepulcher Acropolis as quickly as possible, because if we need to get progress tokens on the story card 4, we would rather not be wasting them now. Okay, so Inwards Odyssey number 20. Echoes of long lost battles. Ever since you were awoken from the sleepless sleep, you have wished for nothing more than to remember. The tantalizing glimpses of your lives have flashed before you on a few occasions, but even they did not provide any insights into how you got onto the Argo, or how you ended up in the sarcophagi of the Argonaut Mausoleum. Some time ago, the scholars of the last academy found a defunct shrine to Mnemosyne, the goddess of memory. The shrine differs from those found in the Forlorn Naus. It's structured like an amphitheater. It's quite large for a deity not deemed worthy of the Olympian status, and it houses many complicated machinas dormant but seemingly in working order. It is also connected to the Argonaut Mausoleum. You've committed considerable resources to bringing this place to life. You hope it will answer some of those lingering questions, give you some taste of closure, and if not that, then at least a clue to where to look next. The day finally comes. Many have gathered to witness the activation of the Mnemosyne machine. The amphitheater is packed as if it was the premiere of the newest Aeschylus play. The lights dim, the gears start turning. The projector casts a picture onto the far wall. It shows the Temenos standing triumphant among the ruins of Sparta. When the images start moving, the crowds gasp and back away in fear. You manage to stand your ground, knowing it isn't real, but the vision is quite convincing. What are we looking at? You slowly ask one of the academicians responsible for the project. It's shadow play. The answer with a sigh. The machine creates illusions based on your voyages. Some recreate our history, others guess at how events would have unfolded if things were different. Different? The academician shrugs. We're not sure how it works. It's physical. You can enter the illusion, touch it, live it, breathe it. Fight it? You suggest, looking at the Temenos, larger and more menacing than any of you have seen. As the projector is deactivated and the illusion slowly fades, it's not what you hoped for, but maybe it's something you can use. If these images can be interacted with, maybe you can use these scenarios to hone your skills, and maybe there's insight to be gained here too. When you have time, you will revisit this Mnestis Theater with your titans. Instruction is Argonaut with the most Nemos nodes on a single Nemos card gains 1 node for the Nemos. Then for the next battle, gain the Wise Providence boon. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, okay, for the Wise Providence boon, I know that it specifically says, in the rule book, I remember reading that Wise Providence is specifically for timeline battles. So let's go ahead and note that for our next timeline battle, which won't be for a while, but that'll be helpful. Yeah, Wise Providence, as we saw with the Pursuer fight, is very helpful. Oh, I am not showing my screen here. There we go, Wise Providence. Gain the Cycle 2 Mnestis Theater technology card. You can now access the Mnestis Theater mode. See Theater rules for details. So this is the challenge mode that I've been talking about, the Mnestis Theater. While we have the technology, I think we can't actually use it until you actually beat a cycle. So like until cycle 1 is over, you're basically locked out of playing cycle 1 bosses in the Mnestis Theater. But just to give a quick peek at what this looks like. Let's see, maybe this is accurate to where I was at. But this is for cycles 1 to 3. I don't think any of this is really, yeah, I mean, I don't think this is really spoilery. So there's this whole chart of fighting primordials. You have different rewards you can get for them. These little like nodes on here show like special cores that you can use to ascend like gear from one cycle to another. I'm debating if we'll actually do that or not, because I have a bunch of things. I think the only thing I ever ascended from one cycle to another was the Iolopile engine, which I ascended from cycle 1 to 2 for my first playthrough. So the two routes that I might take with this are that I might go crazy with ascending stuff in this playthrough just because it might be fun. I want to be cautious of it like making the fights too easy, because I did come back to this looking for a challenge, but I also am looking for something a little bit different. So I have a bunch of resources that I didn't use in my first playthrough that I might just say, screw it, we're going to have them for our second playthrough, and be able to ascend stuff. I actually don't remember. Let's check to see if, I don't remember if like by the rules, those things might actually carry over from playthroughs. And I think if they do, the Scribe app would account for that. So if we go to Mnestis Theater in here, no, it does not carry through. Okay. So if I choose to do it, I may end up just like going back to my my own personal playthrough that I completed and just copying the settings over from this one. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just looking to see like what's going to make this run more fun for me to experience without making it too easy. But yeah, and so some of the rewards, like a lot of these rewards are like things that stay in the Mnestis Theater. Like there is, you'll see cards on here that are like Secret Deck 12, card 169. They are things that are locked into you can only use them in the Mnestis Theater because they're some of them are so good. And I'm not going to show any of them on here because they are super spoilery. But dang, they're incredible. And that's what makes the Mnestis Theater a lot of fun. It's just like you get creative with like trying to build up different loadouts to be able to try different things, and you have the freedom to try these different loadouts because you're not constrained by resources for like constructing things as much as you are in cycle. But what was the other thing I wanted to show here? There is a Titan that you can actually get from the Menestus Theater. It's like one of the few things that you can unlock from the Menestus Theater that carries over into a cycle if you want to use it. So I will almost certainly be doing that, but that won't come into play until the start of cycle 2 at least. Yeah, that's that. So I'll give some thought into how I want to handle carrying things over from my first playthrough into this. Like, what's going to make this the most fun for me? I don't know yet. I'll figure out the answer to that question. But we have now completed our Argo knowledge. We're at 20 out of 20. I'm curious what happens here if we just keep... Oh yeah, you can just keep adding to Inwards Odyssey here and it doesn't really carry over. Yeah. Weird bug that is probably not worth fixing for the developer because what is it actually going to affect? Nothing. All right, let me take a quick break. I will be right back. Okay. Now let's go to the Doom phase and let's bring ourselves down a notch because we're going to be going from Doom card 2B of invisible weights to, well, we're gonna see what happens. So a reminder, our Doom card here, that is what it looks like. We have the main leader / symbol of the Labyrinthians known as the Punished. And this Doom card says when there are 6 or more Doom tokens on this card, we're going to see 25 of the main story. So let's go to the main story. And let's see if we're going to have to fight Temenos. I think this video is getting long enough that, like, if we do have to fight Temenos, I will break it up into a separate video. Paragraph 25. Invisible weights. The sea is veiled in a thick fog. The Argo must slow down to avoid colliding with the other ships. It's an all-hands-on-deck situation. Sailors light additional braziers, and lookouts are posted evenly along the sides and bow. Everyone is tense. After several hours of sailing blind, an enormous silhouette slowly looms up through the gray vapor. At first, you take it for a coastal rock formation, as tall as a mountain, but as you get closer and maneuver to avoid it, you realize it's too symmetrical to be natural. "Labyrinth ahead!" shouts one of the lookouts. Indeed, the maze rises from the sea like a titanic wall made up of individual fragments that separate and intertwine at right angles, like a giant klysmos wicker chair weaved by a deranged student of Pythagoras. Thankfully, you manage to steer clear of the hazard, and only several of the longest and most outstretched maze fragments loom over the deck. The passing of the Argo disturbs a large flock of seagulls that may have made their home in the maze tangle. The birds take flight. "Living statues," mumbles one of you. The birds resemble the labyrinth they call home. Their shapes right-angled and unnatural, more structure than nature. You have no idea how they are alive, though by this point you've stopped questioning the transformative power that grips Crete. At least the birds are not hostile. As you travel through the fog, you encounter more of these maze fragments, forcing you to make course corrections, guiding you. Choose a party leader. Then, if you're on story card 4, see this paragraph, otherwise see 32. Who do we want to be party leader? Well, this is a Doom card, so if I think about it a little bit, I can assume that maybe there's going to be negative things that come out of this. And if there are negative things, maybe we want to put them on somebody who is going to be retiring soon. So we know Fisher's retiring soon. I think Oleander was also close. Oh, wait a second. From the last, I totally skipped something from the last Inwards Odyssey, or the last Inwards Odyssey. We needed to give a Nemos node to an Argonaut with the most nodes on a single Nemos card. I think, weird. Okay, well, we're already in this, and we already have Fisher on here. So I am gonna give it to Fisher. And I think that'll mean that we are gonna have her retire at the end of, or, that is kind of spoiler stuff I'm talking about. We're just gonna give her a Nemos node, and then we will see M038. We'll mark that on our timeline for the next day. I don't know, I can't remember if this is exactly actually how you're supposed to do it. Like if you get if you get something like this in the story phase, as like, would you read the thing in the next story phase? I don't know, but we're already on the Doom phase, so we're just going to do that for this thing. Anyway, yeah, let's make Fisher the party leader just in case there's anything negative that happens. If there's anything positive that happens, then that's unfortunate. But this is a Doom thing. I feel like we're more likely to face negative consequences here. Okay. Choose a party leader. We chose that. Then if you're on story card 4, we're not. So we're going to see paragraph 32 instead. Get some water. You are woken by your crew in the early hours of the morning. A trireme approaches from the bow, by the looks of it, belonging to the old Labyrinth steward's fleet, escorted by your scout Hemiolias. You're told the ship is carrying Cretan refugees. You make your way to the trade fleet dock. As the trireme stops by the pier, you notice black-clad Labyrinthians among the crowd of passengers. So this isn't just any refugee ship. You order your warriors to be on the guard. You won't take any chances. While your hoplites rush to form a defensive line, the Labyrinthians approach the bulwark and throw down a gangway. The crowd parts and a man in tattered robes walks down. His body hangs in long tufts along the shreds of fabric, each one a cross-section of tissue, muscle, sinew, and bone. More corpse than man. Forsaken by Hades, you hear your warriors whisper, sticks turned. Your javelin throwers ready their weapons, and this makes the man freeze mid-step. Wow, I apologize, I can't speak. I came only to talk, he says weakly. When he opens his mouth, it unfolds into countless fragments of skin and muscle. But you are free to slaughter us all. Our lives are forfeit from birth. There are children and sick on board, if such things matter to you. So I think we know who this is. Let's go ahead and pull up a view here so we can just have him in frame too for this passage. Our instruction here is if E4 is marked, we see paragraph 29. Is E4 marked? It's not. So we don't know what would have marked it. Otherwise, see paragraph 26. Who are you? The man waves his hand dismissively. No one of import. Like you, I thought I was somebody once, but thankfully, I was punished for my insolence. You recognize the man from the stories you've heard. The punished. A prophet of the labyrinth. What do you want from us? I heard so much about you and your mighty ship, he says, dreamily. I wanted to see the folly with my own eyes. You know all too well what danger lies in conferring with the Labyrinthians. Maybe we will just turn you away, old man. Maybe. And we have some instructions here, and we have to choose. Option 1 is, you gain nothing by sending him away. The man would not come here if he didn't want something. And if he does want something, then maybe the truth is not all that all-encompassing after all. You take the punished into custody. And we would subtract 1 Argo Fate, and then see paragraph 36. Okay, that's enticing. Option 2 is, you want nothing to do with the Labyrinthians and their so-called prophet. All this man can offer you is lies in the service of his cause. You turn the punished away, and we would see 108 for that. I don't think I'm aligned with that option. And then option 3 is if you finish the Dreams Laid Bare hub only, and then it just says, ask about that. And we would see 103. Well, Dreams Laid Bare is the one that we have been putting off. Right, that's the final one, yeah. Darn, okay, so there's probably some interesting story behind that one that we should prioritize probably getting Dreams Laid Bare complete. Ideally, we'd be able to knock out, I mean, if we could finish Mana Purpose, Uneasy Rest Ahead, and Dreams Laid Bare, that'd be amazing, but we have, what, 5, 6, 7, we need 8 more adventure hubs for that. All right, we're in the middle of a story here. We don't need to plan that out. Yeah, I mean, I can't do option 3. Option 2, like, I don't know how I feel about taking him into custody. But option 3, I'm not just going to turn him. Like, I don't like the context in which we're trying to turn him away there, or like the rationale for it. I think it'd be more like, you know, just be on your way. But I mean, he came to us. He's bringing people that supposedly need help, so maybe he's trying to test us. So yeah, let's let him come on board. We're going to subtract 1 Argo Fate. I mean, I'm also kind of doing it because I just want to subtract Argo Fate. But we'll see if there's going to be a downside to this because that's a nice thing. All right, my music stopped here. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to go option 1, subtract 1 Argo Fate. We did that. And then we're going to see paragraph 36. You send someone to feed the refugees, but keep them confined to their ship. You don't want any stowaways or saboteurs. The punished is led to the part of the Argo you occasionally use as a brig. Once he is rested, you come to question him. One of you says bluntly, "Talk." The punished looks at you and sighs. I suppose I came here to ask you to give up. These are not your people, and this is not your fight. Drift away into the unknown, just like you appeared. It'll be so much easier on you. Is that a threat? A threat? The punished gurgles. It takes you a moment to realize that was laughter. Do I look like I'm in a position to threaten anyone? No. I feel sympathy. I know of you, Argonauts. You are without purpose or cause, the perfect embodiment of the truth of the labyrinth. If circumstances had been different, you would be its chosen disciples instead of me. This is a courtesy call. It sure sounded like a threat to you. And if we don't take your advice, will the labyrinth send more of its creatures after us? The punished looks at you with pity. You are as reckless as Theseus and as arrogant as Minos. Where are they now, my poor Argonaut? Let me tell you a story of Crete. Once there was a Minotaur, he says solemnly, and even the condemned believe it had a purpose. You escaped the labyrinth where you died trying. All died trying. Still, the illusion of meaning was there. The Minotaur is dead, and all the veils have fallen. You defeated the creatures of the maze. What of it? Other ones, stronger, will take their place. He stands up, his body cut to the bone in a maze pattern, barely holding together. You cannot win. Not because you are weak, not because you will fall or you'll stop trying. There simply is no winning. There is only the inevitability of the truth of the labyrinth. Our instruction here is to check if you have lost a battle with a Hecaton or a Labyrinthauros. I did lose a battle early on in the cycle against the Hecaton, I believe. If not, next battle escalate 2. Oh, okay, so there's no penalty if we did lose one. Okay. Oh, so we're being rewarded for having lost one. Excuse me. My throat's a little scratchy today. If you are on story card 3A, or if you are on story card 3, A or B, swap map tiles 9, 13, 14, and 18 with special tiles 9, 13, 14, and 18. Okay, do we have any of those? Let's go to our map view here. Let's do that. 9, are those in our deck right now, or are those put down somewhere? Let's see, we need... Okay, yeah, let me swap these out really quickly. I keep them on the side over here. Yeah, I don't think we have any of these placed down because I think they're probably somewhere in this area. 9, 13, 14, and 18, I think were the ones that it said. Okay, and we don't get to... Oh shoot, what did I just... No. I'm losing track of things. Okay, we don't get to see what was on these tiles. Maybe after this cycle, we'll take a look to see what the differences were. So 9. Then we need to swap out 13, 12, 13 comes out, new 13 goes in, 14 comes out, new 14 goes in, and then 18 comes out, and new 18 goes in. I'm glad I didn't do that on camera because, like, I physically did that in the most confusing way I possibly could have. But we got there eventually. All right. Give an idea of what some of the back of them look like. We have these special tiles here that are basically just saying, like, don't put these in at the beginning of the game. Only put them in when you're supposed to, and we are supposed to right now. Where were we? Okay. If you are on story card 4, we don't do that. If Labyrinthians, unfriendly or worse, add event 14 to the Fated Conundrum Hub to the timeline 5 days from now. No, we are allied with the Labyrinthians. It's funny that it was like, yeah, you don't really like associating with the Labyrinthians. It's like, no, I love it, apparently. At least they like me. Let's see, where were we? If you don't have Hope Logic Technology, each Argonaut gains 1 despair token. I am 99% sure we have that. Technology, Hope Logic. Which one is this again? Okay, this is how we were attempting to prevent doom. Cool, so that's good that we have that. Now we have 2 choices to choose from. Option 1. Time and time again, you have proven that your actions have meaning. You have defeated the minions of the labyrinth, and the presence of the punished here is proof that the labyrinth can be beaten. Intimidate him. Challenge the punished. Excuse me. Okay, then option 2. There is no point in antagonizing this man or arguing semantics. Goad him into revealing more. Concede to the punished. And that would result in Labyrinthians Diplomacy +1, and we would see 91. Ooh, interesting. This is a tough choice. Challenge him or goad him into revealing more. I don't like. I could see myself going either way here, because challenging him, I kind of see that as like no, screw you, man. Like, stop giving up. Like, you're just trying to. It feels like an excuse just to say, like, just because you have had to deal with adversity and now you're giving up. Like, that is some BS. I mean, I don't agree with him. But do we want to goad him into revealing more? I wonder. I don't remember. I don't know if I ever did. I make it to Doom 3 in my first playthrough? I'd be interested to go back and check. I would be willing to bet that if I did it though, I probably went with option 2. I'm kind of tempted to go with option one because I don't think it's something that I would normally do. Man, screw this guy. Like, just because you're this worshipped figure, I don't know, like, you carry so much weight about you, but like, that doesn't make you right. Yeah, all right, let's do that. We're gonna gain an Argo Fate. Guys, he's kind of pissing me off a little bit. Then we're gonna C64. Okay. You do not frighten us. The very existence of things like the labyrinth gives this vessel meaning and its crew purpose. As you say it, warmth washes over you. The punished is at a loss for words and takes a moment to respond. When he does, there is a bitterness in his voice that wasn't there before. I wonder if you will retain this point of view once you look meaningless death in the eyes. We have some instruction here. Damn, that's chilling. Instruction here, we have to mark I3. Ooh, okay, so this was significant, something that we did. Whether it was good or bad, we won't know until later. So let's see, we challenged the punished. Saying that life and struggle aren't meaningless. I don't know, something to that effect. Effect and struggle are not meaningless. Continued instruction is reset Argo Fate. And that's funny that they have the leading up to this is like you have to gain an Argo Fate. Okay, so that's cool. Not a huge help, but like I'll take losing Argo Fate and the party leader's fate, which is already 0, and she's about to retire anyway. Then if you have the Hope Logic Technology card, we do. The party leader starts the next battle with the Marked for Death Major Trauma card. If you do not have the Hope Logic Technology card, blah, blah, blah. We do have it. They would start with Marked for Death in the next battle. We can go ahead and we'll give that to them. I don't know if this would be the next battle or the next timeline battle. I think the only thing that specifically says it only applies to timeline battles is Wise Providence, which is why I did the when I fought Temenos the last time, I did that BP thing from the Dream of Pharaohs. Where am I looking? Marked for death. It said major trauma. Yeah, okay. I don't think this will actually end up affecting us unless we are still going to fight Temenos. Actually, that's true. I think we might still end up fighting Temenos from this Doom card. Okay. As the punished words reverberate in your minds, he whispers, "We march on Knossos, and there it will end. I have no doubt what justice the followers of the truth will receive at the hands of the Minoan dynasty. Do you?" Then we're going to see paragraph 92. All right. I do not wish to take more of your time. Oh, I have delivered my message, and you will do as you please. Now let me be on my way. It's a long trek to Knossos. Knossos, you ponder, if it's wise to send the punished on his way. Now we have a bunch of instructions here. If the Minoan guide is with you and you have not finished the Dreams Laid Bare Hub, C93. Yeah, we have not finished the Dreams Laid Bare Hub, so we're going to C93. This says, Princess Akakalos is furious. As furious you even let the punished onto the ship. The hate for the Labyrinthian prophet is palpable, almost personal. That creature plans the downfall of my dynasty, yells the Minoan princess. Kill it! Kill it before it dooms us all. When we return to my palace, you will be rewarded beyond imagining. Okay, calm the heck down, Princess Acropolis. Instruction is if you choose to kill the punished, Minoan's diplomacy +1. Okay, I'm all for gaining diplomacy. That's a little extreme. If you want to try to understand Acropolis, you may spend time with her. Through her demeanor, though her demeanor doesn't make it easy. Gain 2 danger and see 154. Okay, sure, I'll gain 2 danger with Fisher. And see 154 and then return to 92. Okay, so 154 says, come on. Is everything okay? You ask. She looks at you dumbfounded, as if no one has ever asked her that. Yes. She answers slowly, lowering her gaze. Suddenly her eyes dart back up. No, it's not. It hasn't been for a very long time. I'm scared. We aren't cut out for this. Ooh, we aren't cut out for this. Make an Acropolis tally mark. Okay. I mean, I don't know, this combined with like the information of like these princesses who have been referred to as usurpers, are they trying to take over for Minos, and they are now finding themselves in over their head, and she doesn't know what to do. I mean, it seems like she could just kind of like jump to the conclusion of like, oh, the punished is the main threat. If we kill him, then we're okay. So it sounds like deep down she doesn't even really know what she wants to do in the situation. Okay. I mean, regardless, I don't think killing the punished is the right thing to do here. Okay, returning back to 92, we have 4 options. Okay, I'm not going to read these all the way through. Okay, guess I will, sorry. Option 1, you cannot defeat an idea by defeating a man. The punished will undoubtedly journey to Kenosis, but holding him, or worse, killing him, would only rally more to his cause. True. Let your compassion and your purposefulness sow a seed of doubt in him. You send him on his way. Then we have option 2, which says, one way or another, the Labyrinthians will march on Kenosis. You cannot stop that, but you can at least gain some favor from the Minoan dynasty. By delivering them their enemy on a platter, you send him to Kenosis as a prisoner. Minoan's diplomacy +1. Option 3, you are no murderers. Oh, I don't think I mentioned. Option 1 is Labyrinthines diplomacy +1. Option 2 is Minoan's diplomacy +1. Option 3, you are no murderers, but this man is too dangerous to be left unchecked. He says he is insignificant and replaceable, yet to your knowledge, there is only one punished and many pay deference to him. Isolate him and the movement may waver. You imprison him. And that would lead to Labyrinthians diplomacy -1. Then option 4 is killing him. I'm not even going to go down that option because I'm not doing that. All right, let's rule. Is there any options we want to rule out here? If I did this story, or if I did this before, then I probably would have just let him go on his way. So if I want to see new content, assuming I have to, I mean, does it really count if I don't even remember doing this? But I might be tempted to go like option 2 or 3 because I don't think I would have done those before. Option 3 does result in losing a diplomacy with the Labyrinthians, but I mean, we're allied with them. So that's kind of another reason I'm like interested in exploring something else that's not option 1, because that option is gaining a diplomacy with the Labyrinthians. We already have max diplomacy. We don't care about that. Also, letting him go, I'm a little worried that Princess Acropolis might be upset with us. Although, I mean, it sounds like deep down she doesn't know what she wants, so maybe they actually wouldn't care. I'm curious. We'll end up having like this will probably end up leading to doing a fated, like a marked box. Let's let's see what happens if we send him to Knossos and just put him there as a prisoner. Like, I mean, they're right. They're gonna march on Knossos anyway. I don't know. Why not just put him there? I'm mostly just doing this to see if I can convince myself that like I can justify getting a diplomacy with the Minoans as I try to build that back up. I could keep him imprisoned myself. Okay, let's just go with option 2. Screw it. Because I think this is like, other than killing him, I really don't want to kill him. Like, as much as I'm interested in like trying to do things that I haven't done before, killing the Punish just seems like a stupid thing to do. I can't justify it, but I can justify saying like, yeah, let's keep him as prisoner and let's see if that changes anything. Does that affect the Labyrinthian movement at all? Probably not. It probably would just encourage more people to join it. Anyway, so Minoan's diplomacy +1. Then we will see paragraph 96. That's right over here. You can go to Knossos and join your followers. No harm will come to you, one of you says, but you will go there in shackles. Is this the famed Argonaut hospitality? It's our famed prudence. If what you say is true, you will arrive unharmed precisely where you want to, ready to be judged for what you've done in your service of the labyrinth. I suppose it cannot be helped, but we were all at the mercy of the world's whims. Farewell, Argonauts. Your guards escort the punished to the pier, where they inform the followers that he will take a slightly different route to Knossos. Soon after, both ships, the Labyrinthian Trireme and your transport Hemiolia, depart the docks and vanish into the fog. Interesting. We're going to swap map tiles 22 and 23 with special tiles. Okay, I have a feeling that these special tiles, quote unquote, are not good. This is, let's see, ooh, 22 and 23. Do we have those? 22 is just north of Knossos. 23, I guess, would just be a little bit to the side of that. And I only know that just from like looking at the rest of the map here. But I think it's probably 22 is here from this, 23 is probably here. Okay, so let's see. 22. I'm tempted, like I'm excited to look at the difference between these tiles once I finish the cycle. 22 and 23. I probably looked at them after I finished the cycle the first time around, but again, I don't remember what the difference is between them, but I imagine it's bad because this is advanced. We've advanced Doom to get to this point, and so the struggle is ongoing. All right, I think, let's see, now, let me make sure I got everything there. Archive the Invisible Waits Doom card and read side 3A of the No Way Out Doom card. Maybe I should have named this one No Way Out. We wouldn't have known what the name of this Doom card was at the beginning of this video, so I made the right choice. All right, so Invisible Waits comes out. That gets archived, so archiving is basically just kind of like removing it from the game. Let's take a look at our beautiful artwork here. Can't really get a full view of it in that way. It's cool. So we have just like these, I bet you those map tiles just have a cool bunch of like, maybe it's just the artwork that's changed, but I'm sure it's like the land has become more labyrinthized. That's so cool. Oh, I wonder if there's any hidden codes in there. I don't think I ever tried checking like Doom and story cards for hidden codes. Huh. Okay. No Way Out. Some say the punished has been put to death. Actually, let's show the artwork while we're reading this. I think that's more fun. Some say the punished has been put to death. Others that he is jailed and tortured in the Daedalus vault. However gruesome his fate, if he has not turned the tide. However gruesome his fate, it has not turned the tide. The labyrinth grows vaster every day. It consumes plains, forests, rivers. It transforms the cities and those who inhabit them. The maze-like tattoos start to blossom, turning people into living nightmares of angular flesh and symmetrical ribbons of skin. Thousands flock to Knossos for protection, only to be violently turned away by the horned guard. It seems the punished told the truth. He was no one, a meaningless mouthpiece, now discarded in favor of another, or 10,000 others. Place the labyrinthian temple marker on the closest unoccupied city. If there are no unoccupied city symbols on the map, place the token on a tile adjacent to the Argo. I forget, does occupied mean the, give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, unoccupied city in this just means that any token except for the last visited city token. So the closest city is the one that we last visited. So we get one of those tokens. If I can grab this, and that'll go there. Okay, and we treat those as doom, and we can't negotiate on those. Ooh, add the Hecatrap exploration card into the exploration deck unless it's already there. Oh man, we have to. Whoa, we got rid of that one before. I guess we have to re-add it. Okay, I'll take care of that off camera. I think I'm going to end the video here and just take a break. I may end up doing another video today. But I think this was a good one to just kind of tie some things together from the battle and go through the story and the doom there. So I'm surprised. I actually thought we were going to end up in a fight with the Temenos. Maybe we'll get into a fight with the Temenos after we advance the story, but I don't know. I guess at this point, because we got to reset our Argo Fate as part of our doom there, which is huge. I guess I'm happy that we don't have to face the Temenos, because now we're not at risk of losing Titans. But the next battle that we have coming up then will probably be the Pursuit's End battle, where we don't expect to win that one, but we're just gonna try it out, see what it looks like, and see what we need to prepare for when we do actually want to kill it. But we're gonna go into that battle assuming 4 Titans are gonna die. So yeah, stick around for the next video where we'll be going through some more adventure and voyage stuff. Maybe we'll get to the Sepulcher Acropolis in the next video. We might, because we're actually pretty close to it here on the map. Potentially, depending on the geography of Crete, we might be able to get there just by going straight down south in a few days. And yeah, I think we can go ahead and call it there. And then we'll also have an Argonaut retire soon as well. Cool. So thank you all for joining. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.